everybody. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and what I'm doing this morning is I am booking my trip to Thailand. Not actually the trip, just probably the flight. The reason I have you guys on video is I'm going to show you how to do it, because one of the most questions I get asked is, how do you book your flights? Where do you find them? What sites do you use? So what I'm going to be doing this morning is taking you guys with me and showing you exactly how I do that, so you can do it too and you can start traveling also. I got my coffee and I am ready to work, so let's do it. Okay, so now we're going to just kind of go through the steps that I take when I'm just normally booking a trip, and I went ahead and enlarged my pointer size so you guys can see see it. It's big enough. That's what she said. Hope you guys can all see that. Hope you like my picture from Egypt. I took it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so first thing I do is when I am, okay, so one of the sites that I use is Groupon, but I actually have never taken a Groupon trip. But I'm going to show you, look, there's one right there. I'm going to show you some of the trips they offer. And the only thing about this is that it's cheaper if two people go on these trips. So this is why I haven't actually taken a Groupon trip yet. Some of them are still cheaper altogether when you include the solo fee. I'm just gonna show you. Let's see here. Look at these prices. These are really actually amazing prices. If you have a travel buddy, you can totally take advantage of these. Sometimes they end up being really expensive, for a lot of times, not sometimes, for solo travelers, which are so unfair. But let me show you this one. So $11.99, just depending on what you pick. We're gonna go here, look at the options. So okay, so the way this works, usually if you don't live in New York or Los Angeles, you're gonna have to, these are the only cities that they depart from. Some obviously have more options on departure cities, and you might be lucky enough to have yours on the list, and it'll be cheaper that way. But if yours isn't, then you have to get a flight from your city to like one of these cities. Like I'd have to first book a flight from San Antonio to New York, which is still really cheap, because you can get it for like under 300. Sometimes you get a good deal. Maybe it might be under 200. Nope, I don't need you, lady. And then it has tons of departure dates, so you should be able to find your date there. So here we go. Look, I'm going to show you the solo fee, right? $11.99 for this trip, which is really good. And then here is the fee to travel solo. $800 for this one. Some of them are like 300 or 400, but this is like not a good deal for me. It might be, no, yeah, it might be actually. Usually my Europe trips they're not the cheaper trips really. Most of them, unless you're going like Eastern Europe, might be cheaper. Ours is usually cheaper, but these are not, European trips are not usually cheap. So I usually spend like maybe about, maybe this is right, but the good thing about this is everything is included. You get to stay in nicer hotels for cheaper prices here, and some of them have, like, it goes down to, oh, this one doesn't have the itinerary. It kind of gives you an overview, but it doesn't tell you like what you're doing on day one, day two, whatever. So these are optional tours or upgrades that you can add. Sometimes I've compared prices. Sometimes you can actually find these tours cheaper on TripAdvisor. So you can either accept these or look for cheaper tours on TripAdvisor. And let me just give you an example. Let's see. What is this? This is only Venice. Okay, trip sites to use for booking excursions. I said I wasn't gonna go into excursions today, but I'll just show you real quick. So things to do. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna do Venice. Gondola ride. We're gonna search. Classic 30-minute gondola ride for $35. 30-minute private. See, and another thing is you can see 30 minutes, 30 minutes. You have to look and see. They might be exactly the same, but some of these companies to compete, they offer the same exact little tour or excursion for different prices. So a lot of times I'll keep looking down to see if I find the same excursion for a cheaper price. And most of the time I always do. So this is why I like TripAdvisor. So you can get one for $25, you can get one for $35, and then here, go back down, let's see, where is it? Gondola ride, $95 per person, per person. So that's, and this is, yeah, still that's what I do. I usually go to TripAdvisor to book these little side excursions. So we're gonna close this and we're gonna go ahead and look at Thailand. These trips are actually not the trips that I wanted. They're here on Groupon too though, but there are, I didn't want a 7-day. I wanted at least a 10-day or more, but these are not going to the cities that I want. Beijing, this actually looks kind of like a nice one, but let's see. I'm looking at the dates. So say departure city, Los Angeles the cheapest. Select package. I would do, I wanted the 11. This is kind of not the one that I wanted. And these dates are, I'm trying to go in April. I really didn't want to go past, definitely not in May. They don't have anything sooner, so this is, I can't do this anyway. No, I don't want any advice from me. Okay, so I've already looked at all these trips. They're late, too late for me in the year. I know May's not a big deal, but it is. I really don't like to travel beyond April. I don't even want to be traveling in April. I try to do my traveling by March because by that time, past March is high season for almost every place. There are more tourists out. It's more expensive, so I really don't like traveling past April. Okay, so now we're gonna go into flights. When we do flights, we're gonna do something a little bit different here. We're gonna go to, we're gonna do an incognito window. So the reason we do this, there's a couple of things we need to do though, besides this. The reason we do this is because, you know, like when you type in something that you're shopping for and then you maybe go on Facebook or Instagram and all of a sudden you see it, like they're advertising that thing for you. Well, the system knows when you're searching for flights, and when you keep searching for the same flight, they start raising the prices little by little by little every time you search, and I'm obsessed, so I constantly search for flights. And I'll keep looking around for options like every day. So you do the come here up to your right hand corner and then select the new incognito window. And then also another thing you want to do, more tools, go down to more tools and go to clear browsing data. I'm trying to do, I was trying to save my password, but I don't know how to. Okay, so I'm going to clear all my data. That also clears any searches that you've done for the last few days, so they they can't catch on to what you've been searching for and raise those prices. So we're going to close that. And the next site we're going to is Kayak. This is my favorite site for searching for flights because it puts most of the airlines. See, it already has it in there, so that kind of sucks. Oh, you know what? I'm not in my incognito window. That's why. Let me do it here also. Clear browsing data, clear again. So we're going to close that and go back to Kayak. Okay, so here it is. Like, it doesn't have my search at all. So we're gonna do. I've already. Okay, so actually, let me just go ahead and show you the difference in price. This is a little trick that I discovered to get cheaper airline tickets. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in San Antonio to Bangkok, right? So I'm going. Planning to go April 4th, turn on the 14th, maybe, I think 14th. So wait for it to load. And this is probably going to be the cheaper price, or the cheapest price for this search, because I've already done the search, so I don't think it'll drop down. The more it loads, usually the cheaper it gets, but okay, so yeah, it's done loading, and the cheapest price we can get, let me just go to recommended, go to cheapest. Okay, is $8.69. But look at those, look at the time, 44 hours, 26 hours coming back, 2 stops. So for the cheaper round trip prices from San Antonio, the flights are kind of doo-doo. They're not good. So you can look at that, 32 hours, and so it gets a little bit better when you do when you get to the lower duration flights. So these are, they try to lead you to other websites so you can check out their deals. But I kind of stick to Kayak. I usually veer off to other, like Cheap Air, and sometimes they might offer flights that are like slightly cheaper, but not too much of a big deal. You can look like at, I prefer Kayak, but you can use like Hipmunk, Cheap Air, Skyscanner. I tend to just stick to the Kayak though. So lowest price you can get is $8.69, but look at that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little trick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a main hub. One of the main hubs is LAX. Like, your main hubs are like in DC, like Dulles. There are several. Dulles, Atlanta, JFK, LAX. So LAX, I'm going to look at LAX and then to Bangkok for these same dates. If you book your flight legs separately, a lot of times you can get, most of the time you can get a really good deal. So we're gonna look and see what we find. So you notice as it keeps loading here, the price keeps dropping. So usually that's what happens when it's doing the searches. Waiting for it to finish up here loading. I think this is probably about the cheapest we're gonna get here. Almost done. Okay. Okay, done. So the cheapest price listed here is $513. No, thank you. $513 from LAX to Bangkok. So I'm gonna write that down. I like this. Let's see. I might be able to get better. No. I'm just looking here at the options. I kind of wanted to get in a little bit earlier than this. I think I saw one that gets in it. Let me look. Okay, so what you can do here is you see these durations, right? I think the best we can get is like 19 hours, but I'm gonna go ahead and put 22 hours because we don't want these flight legs to be like 30 hours. Let's do 22 hours and 30 minutes. See what we come up with. See, this is actually nice. I don't like this time though. I don't want to leave Bangkok at 4:40 a.m. So, but I do like this one. I just think I'm wondering. Let me look over here. Okay, so since I don't like these outgoing flights. There's actually one that's cheaper than this. I have to look though. Take off from Bangkok. Okay, so we're gonna see 4:45. Okay, so I don't want that price actually. Okay. Let me just reset this again. Oops, what are you doing? Okay. So since I like, well, let me go here and look at something else. Take off from LAX. This is a good one. Right here. But obviously I'm a cheapo, so I am trying to get the cheapest deal I can. And I don't want these. Let me see. Change the flight leg. Okay, so I changed the duration again, so none of these flights are gonna go over like 25 hours. Oh my god, which is killer. This is a good one. I kind of don't see this right here. This is actually a good flight, but 2 o'clock in the morning, dude. I really don't like getting into any country this late, especially, obviously, I've never been there. I prefer it to be daytime or This one is good, but when you cross, let me try this. See what it comes up with. It's still here. Okay, this obviously I don't want to leave from Bangkok at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to do that. This is okay, except I don't like arriving at 2 a.m. And this is a little long here. See, this one is, I don't like this. You can actually swap them out. Like, let me see. Okay, say, where is, okay, I like this one, right? Keeps that one, and then I gotta look for a outbound trip. So this is China Eastern Airlines. If I don't know, I'm not gonna do that. Trying to find something that is, let's see, doesn't look like I'm gonna win here. I'm gonna have to do that 2 a.m. So say if I like this one, which is, where are all the other options? Okay, well let me take it off then. Are there more options now? Yeah. Oh, also we're gonna take this off. We're not doing 2 stops. That's killer. I might end up doing this because there's not really much of an option, and also I still have to book my first leg that has to get there before 12:30. It has to get there like by at least no later than 10:30 so I can get through customs, immigration, whatever. Or this, oh, see, look at this one. This one is pretty good. 11:50, arrives at 10:50 p.m., which is not 2 a.m. 21 hours. This right here though, 4 a.m. But oh well, 4:40. I might just have to bite the bullet, but let me just double check. Let me look at all the flights. I think that's about, yeah, I'm being a cheapo, so I'm not gonna, well, all these are 12 a.m. Even though these are more expensive, the hours are still not good. I don't want to, this is a red eye. I could do that, but I don't want to pay this much because I'm trying to show you how to save money here. Okay, so anyway, if you wanted to do this, say I'm gonna book this one, which I probably won't. I'm probably gonna go this route right here just because of this time, maybe. So it's only like $35 more. So if I come here just so I can get in slightly earlier. So say I book this one for $5.58, right? And then I keep the times in mind. 12:30, I need to get in by 10:30. Just writing this stuff down. And then I'm leaving. I arrive at 6 p.m. back to LAX. So I need to get another flight like at 8. This might be bad, actually. These are long. Okay, so where were we? Right here. 6 p.m. I need a flight after. I need a flight about 8 p.m. at least. So that gives me, I don't like to book flights. Like if you're doing connecting flights, you have to be careful. Be careful with the way that you book the times, because if you're booking them separately and also they're separate airlines, and you miss your connecting flight, you are not, like, they're not obligated to help you. You might have to actually just pay to get back. So if I'm booking a separate flight, like the way I'm doing now, I try to at least put a 2 hour connection time, especially because you got to go through customs and stuff like that. You have to account for maybe there might be delays. So it's kind of a risk that you're taking. But we're going to go back to flights. We're going to switch this around, and then we're going to do San Antonio to, yes, LAX for these same dates. Okay, get rid of this. And we're going to change these hours taking off from San Antonio at 9, and then okay, so here we go. 6:50. This is I guess what they call a hacker fare, where they have two different, wow, one stop. Let's see about nonstop. Jeez Louise. I might have to go to, let me go look at this. This looks, okay, so on this site, looks like they had, Jesus, make me do it all over again. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Okay. So I can go here, book that on Southwest, and then where's the nonstop? Oops, gotta come down here. This one, oh Jesus, but it's only, okay, continue. So these are actually the exact times that I need. My flight from LAX on the outbound going to Bangkok leaves at 12:30 p.m. and I need to be at the airport by 10:30 or before 10:30. So this is, it gets me there at 8:35. So I have about a 4 hour layover, which sucks a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then I get back to, I'm not sure if you guys might maybe be following what I'm doing, but on the return flight, I arrive from Bangkok at LAX at 6 p.m. So this one leaves at 9:10. So this gives me about 3 hours and 10 minutes connection time, which again gives me time to get through immigration, which hopefully there's no delay, so that helps with that. And it's a non-stop flight, but I guess with the time change, I get there at almost 2 o'clock in the morning, which actually really sucks, but this is works out really good right here. I'd actually like to see if I get something else right here. But the whole total amount is $226. So if you add this to what was the price of the first flight, Okay, the price was a first flight from LAX to Bangkok round trip was 558. So if you add the 558 plus the 226, your total is $784. And if you think about the flight times, they're a lot, what, 3 hours plus. You probably have to count for layovers too. But I think let's see, hold on one second. So if you take the layovers into account, you do get the 869, but you have 44 hours and 35 minutes of travel time. So the most comparable is around this price range, $1,211. So if you do 1211 minus 784, you get $427 that you saved. So that's how I hack my own flights so I can get cheaper rates and lower duration. And I don't know why they don't put these flights together. Like when you do this in the search engine, I don't know why they don't automatically do that for you. But it's really annoying. Oh, look at this. So I don't know what that is. So yeah, that's how I do. Or even here, if you do like 11, still $300 that you save. But yeah, that's it. And I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and look at a few more options because I am obsessed with that. I'm never happy with the first thing that I find, even the second, third, fourth, fifth. I'll keep looking and looking and then finally book something. But I just wanted to show you guys like how I do it, and that's how I do it. And thank you for watching.